So 10 rumors about Captain Marvel confirmed to be true and 10 we hope aren't true. As the MCU continues to drop photos and details of the much anticipated Captain Marvel, the stakes for the film and the wider franchise are only growing higher. Building up to the much ballyhooed transition to Phase 4 of the incredibly successful superhero movie series, it's widely expected that both Captain Marvel and the sequel to Avengers Infinity War, currently only known as Avengers 4, will be the transitional pivots to that next phase. What comes thereafter is anybody's guess. There are rampant rumors that both Captain America and Iron Man may be retired, or to mention the whole Thanos snap moment, which may mean at least some of our beloved characters may not be coming back from the beyond the grave. On top of all that, the recent acquisition of Fox by Disney means that the Fantastic Four could be joining the MCU. I actually would enjoy if either the X-Men or the Fantastic Four came through and to help the Avengers take on Thanos. But for just one guy, that seems like a lot. Now, Captain Marvel needs to not only save the day in her own movie, but she is also directing the traffic at the crossroads of the greatest fantasy film franchise ever created. That's a lot to put on her shoulders, but we have a feeling she'll pull through. After all, that all pales in comparison to being the first female hero to lead a solo MCU film. Damn straight. So what will really change and what won't? We know the answers to some of those questions, but for some other puzzles, there are rumors which many fans simply wish would not materialize in our reality. Here are 10 rumors about Captain Marvel, confirmed to be true, and 10 we hope aren't. 20 confirmed. Captain Marvel takes place before Infinity War. Okay. I mean, that's kind of obvious. I mean, it's the origin story. One of the biggest questions at the end of Avengers Infinity War is just who the heck is Nick Fury dialing up for help before he dissolved into nothing? True fans know that this moment heralds the coming of Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, but how does Fury know her? Why haven't we met her? The film has been revealed to be taking place in the 1990s. That means Danvers and Fury have already worked together, and he's been keeping her existence secret, only to call her in the worst of emergencies. So this tells me that Fury obviously had this in his back pocket. I mean, not to mention he's been looking for the Red Skull for quite some time. So, only to call in her in the worst emergencies. This is crucial because it means she has not directly confronted Thanos during the Infinity War yet, and so is available as the much needed cavalry our heroes need. 19. Hope not. The Hulk. Despite the MCU's recent reveal of a treasure trove of Captain Marvel details, we cannot be certain of everyone who does and doesn't appear in the film. Complicating matters is the timeline question. We know it'll be set in the 90s, but might some of the stories take place in the years since, or even catch up to the here and now? It's anybody's guess, but rumored leaked production art seems to indicate the Hulk may actually show up, which would be cool. Except he would be depicted wearing a super goofy battle suit. It's not anything like the cool gladiator garb he sported in Thor Ragnarok. Let us please hope this wardrobe fail doesn't make it to the final cut. 18. Confirmed. Features young Nick Fury with two eyes. Well, yeah, we've seen that. It has been confirmed that Samuel L. Jackson will be reprising his role on the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Captain Marvel. Jackson will play a younger version of himself, with the actor being digitally made to look younger. While it is not yet known what his function in the secretive super spy organization was in the past, it's safe to say he will be at a much lower rank. Another thing recently revealed set photo shows that Nick has not yet lost his left eye in the 1990s. That's right. Both peepers rest placidly on his face with no trademark eye patch in sight. Pun intended. Will fans get to see how his awful wound happened in the Captain Marvel movie? Let's see. I hope it does happen, kinda. 17. Hope not. Rick Jones will appear. Who the hell is Rick Jones? Rick is Marvel Comics' perennial sidekick. First appearing in the Incredible Hulk issue 1, he was pivotal in the Bruce Banner's gamma ray accident that transformed him into a green monster. Later on, he actually took on the mantle of Bucky Barnes, fighting alongside Captain America. He even shared a body with Marvel for a while. In fact, he sort of single-handedly won the famous Crow's Kree War in 1972. Now, it's rumored he's in the Captain Marvel movie, which would be his first MCU. Please. So let's please keep Rick out. If he belongs anywhere, it's as the Hulk's best friend. Anything else would just feel wrong. Confirmed. Number 16. Ronan is back. Sweet. For the Guardians of the Galaxy fans who absolutely fell in love with the Super Kree bad guy Ronan the Accuser, boy, we have some good news for you. The hammer-wielding Hulk, who is neither Thor nor the Hulk, returns to the screen for another go at space-faring madness. For those who didn't love Ronan the Accuser in Guardians of the Galaxy, actor Lee Pace has another shot to impress them and add some dimension to the character. Perhaps none of this should be surprising. After all, Captain Marvel is all about the Kree, as we shall discuss very soon. Number 15, Hope Not, Carol Danvers' anti-aging secret. Okay. Here's the thing about Carol Danvers. She's going to be appearing in the 1990s as Captain Marvel. We also know that she's going to be in 2019's Avengers 4. And we know she's going to be essentially seen to be the same age, even though 20 or more years have passed. So how does that work? Rumor has it that the MCU will introduce what was called the Kree Psych Megatron from the comics. Basically, it's an advanced machine that can give people superpowers. Supposedly, it's going to allow Danvers' aging process to slow down a lot. That will explain things, but it's a pretty goofy choice if it comes to pass. However, hopefully, a smarter plot point will be revealed, like time travel. Confirmed. Other Kree will play major roles. Number 14. Alright, cool. Yes, Captain Marvel is going heavy on the Kree, one of the most important alien races from the Marvel comics to not yet have been explored in the MCU. Looking back at the decades of stories, the mind boggles at just how many members of the warrior species will make it onto the screen. Besides, the aforementioned Ronan, there are a few we know about for sure. Korath the Pursuer has been confirmed, as has Min-Erva, and a few others we'll save for later. Some of the most important Kree we still don't have confirmation on yet. Most conspicuous of all is the Supreme Intelligence, the AI ruler of the Galactic Empire. Basically, he's a giant green alien head wired up into the computers who can do almost anything. Hope not. Number 13. Moonstone will be the villain. Okay, I hope not either. In the comics, the supervillain Moonstone is one heck of a complex character. First appearing as a gun mole for the Captain America villain Dr. Apophis, she joined the Masters of Evil and later the super confusing evil good guy team Thunderbolts. She's gone from villain to an anti-hero, and you won't believe this. She even became Miss Marvel for a while. If none of this makes sense, it's because her character trajectory has been all over the place. Because she gets her powers from a Kree rock. It is believed she may appear in Captain Marvel to battle Carol Danvers. That would only muck things up. By the way, her powers are almost identical to the Vision's abilities, so it wouldn't even be like we would get to see some new and cool powers anyway. Okay? Number 12, confirmed. Skrulls. Now, I've seen the Skrulls a few times. While we all love the Kree, the Skrulls are the granddaddy alien species of the MCU. Appearing for the first time in 1961's Fantastic Four issue number 2, MCU fans have been frustrated at the delay of their arrival in the cinematic continuity. Fox never featured them in any of its 3 subpar FF film efforts, but Captain Marvel will be introducing them to us in a big way. Be warned, these shape-shifting conquerors have given many a Marvel hero a run for their money. They even engineered a secret invasion in the comics where they impersonated scores of superheroes for years. With the coming of these formidable foes, Carol Danvers really has her work cut out for it. Yeah, I'd say so. Hope not. Number 11. Miss Marvel first, Captain Marvel later. Here is a weird rumor which may not seem terribly consequential at first, but we still hope isn't true. Captain Marvel was originally Mar-Vell in the comics and not Carol Danvers. When Marvel wanted to give a woman some Kree powers, they had to give her a different moniker, as Mar-Vell was still very much active in the continuity, and thus the name Miss Marvel was annoyed upon Danvers. It's rumored that in the script, she possibly begins with the Miss Marvel code name and gets upgraded to Captain later. Do we really need to stick Carol with a gender tag when clearly her rank is what matters as a warrior? Danvers is a military professional, and that's how she should be defined. especially since there's no other captain get past this time. True. Confirmed. Number 10. Coulson is back. Oh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans, does the Captain Marvel movie have good news for you? Agent Phil Coulson is set to appear in the film, played once again by the widely adored Clark Gregg. The stoic yet warm super spy will be involved in the Earthly Defense Project alongside Nick Fury. What his role and indeed all of S.H.I.E.L.D. role will be in the story is yet to be determined, but it looks like the band's getting back together for this one. This is yet another raising of the stakes because what happens could affect the course of the TV show, which has its sixth season debuting just a couple months after Captain Marvel. Will Coulson get more cosmic in the series? Number 9, hope not. Too much focus on S.H.I.E.L.D. Another extremely convoluted history in Marvel Comics surrounds the exact origins and function of S.H.I.E.L.D. In its original appearance in Strange Tales, issue number 135, the main focus of its energies is in dealing with Hydra. In fact, Hydra was kind of why they were first created after World War II. But retconning has set the organization up to go even further back in time. Thousands of years, in fact, with everybody from Leonardo da Vinci to Tony Stark supposedly having a hand in it. With an entire show dedicated to the agency's current status and another former show based around its founding, we've had enough S.H.I.E.L.D. focus in the MCU. Note to the filmmakers, you don't need to tie everything together. Save some backstory for future generations. Number 8 confirmed. Mar-Vell is in it. Okay. As promised, another hugely important Kree is making his way to Captain Marvel. None other than Mar-Vell, who was the original Captain Marvel in the comics, is playing a pivotal role in the movie, possibly as a mentor, in my opinion. That's just my little theory. Not to confuse anybody, but when Mar-Vell was first introduced in the pages of Marvel Superheroes issue number 12, it was as Captain Marvel, and he stayed that way for years. Carol Danvers first appeared as Miss Marvel when she acquired her powers, and now several characters have worn both the Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel mantle over time. Don't even get us started on how Shazam, also originally known as Captain Marvel, plays into this history. Anyway, in the film, Mar-Vell is Carol's mentor, and yep, I figured that. Played by Jude Law. Number 7, hope not. Nick Fury is a Skrull. I hope not either, man. That would just fuck everybody up. That would fuck me up for sure. One persistent whisper campaign has it that Nick Fury is actually going to end up being a Skrull in the Captain Marvel movie. As any comic reader knows, continuity's shaking plot twists during the Secret Invasion crossover aren't altered it. In the crossover event altered the history of a whole bunch of Marvel characters. Many of the favorite heroes' histories were a lie because they were really Skrulls all along, and the real heroes were captive, and it all just got to be too much. There's already plenty of universe and storytelling going on in the films. Audiences do not need to play too many guessing games. It becomes tedious. Also, Marvel so far has had a solid record managing the multi-film franchise's continuity. Unnecessary complications, like Nick Fury was never Nick Fury, could easily screw that up and turn the MCU into the same continuity mess the comics have become. Number 6 confirmed. Monica Rambeau is introduced. Okay. Monica Rambeau was also bestowed with Captain Marvel moniker starring in the Amazing Spider-Man Annual issue 16. Although she is human and not Kree, and has totally different powers, eventually changing her name to Photon, Pulsar, and most recently Spectrum, Monica has the ability to transform herself into pure energy. Hey, that's beautiful. Just to be clear, Monica isn't going to be Captain Marvel in the movie, but her mother, Maria, is a main character. It's being reported that her daughter, Monica, will be mentioned. It's important to recall that the film takes place in the 90s. Which means Monica would be at least 20 by the time we get to the contemporary timeline, perfectly lining up with the potential phase 4 appearance by the character. Funny how that works. Number 5 confirmed. It's not an origin story. Okay, cool. For a minute I thought it was going to be an origin story. Tired of wasting the first hour of every superhero movie with a perfunctory, how do they get their powers drudgery? Well, Captain Marvel fans breathe in a sigh of relief. It has been confirmed that the film will not have an origin story in it. Okay, cool. For me, because it always made it seem like it was going to be an origin story or something. For the way they are building it up a little bit. Goodness gracious, whatever will this film do? Get to the action more quickly, spend more time developing more than just one character? The possibilities are endless when we remove the albatross of origin story from around the audience's neck. Opportunities around to add Easter eggs, smart plot twists, and maybe even heighten the drama. Here's to hoping the filmmakers make the best of it. Number 4. Hope not. Messes up Fantastic Four's arrival to the MCU. As mentioned, Disney has acquired Fox and the Fantastic Four, maybe for the MCU. Let me do that over again. As mentioned, Disney has acquired Fox and the Fantastic Four, maybe for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's been a lot of talk about how Phase 4 of the MCU is going to be more cosmic, which makes sense with Captain Marvel. However, the Fantastic Four were the first to take on intergalactic threats in the comics, with the Skrulls appearing in the very second issue of the series. Reed Richards' handling of the Skrull invasion affected the storylines for decades. Now, it looks like the Fantastic Four won't be as pivotal in facing the shape-shifting race. Does this mean we'll never see the Super Skrull take on the Fantastic Four? This disruption will deviate from some of the Marvel's most classic tales, so hopefully it won't totally wreck things. Number 3, confirmed. Star Force are joining. Okay, cool. Did a video on this the other day. I'll be sure to put this in the comment section below. I'm sure to put that video's link in the comment section below this video. Back to the Kree characters appearing in the movie. It has been confirmed that none other than the Star Force are in Captain Marvel. Along with the aforementioned Minerva, Ronan, and Korath, at least 2 more fellow teammates are seen recently in the recently released photos from the film. For those unfamiliar with Star Force, they were actually a supervillain team in the comics. With the exception of a few of the alien race, the Kree are generally just as much of a threat to the Earth as Skrulls are, both being war and conquest societies on a galactic scale. Will they be good guys in the Captain Marvel movie? And while we're here, will the Kree as a species be allied or adversaries to our superheroes? That part we still don't know. Number 2, hope not. New War Machine design. Okay, I don't understand why. I mean, he kind of needs a new one. For fans of 90s Marvel comics, a few artists are more divisive than the line-happy illustrator Rob Liefeld. Following the stylistic footsteps of Todd McFarlane, Liefeld changed the way fans saw Marvel with characters like X-Men and New Mutants, inspiring before moving on to co-found his own comics publisher, Image. Some readers loved his quirky art, and he is in fact very popular. One thing all can agree on: his overly busy character designs don't work in every setting. Leaked production art is rumored to show a version of War Machine who looks very Leafish, who would look as annoying as the overly complicated movie versions of Transformers. Okay, that explains it. I was gonna say, I think, War Machine doesn't yet get a new paint job. Number 1, hope not. They changed Captain Marvel's cat's name. Okay, and the cat in the comics, Carol Danvers is a huge Star Wars fan. So much so, she names her beloved cat Chewie after everyone's favorite fuzzball, Chewbacca. Okay, that's cute. One report has spread the rumor that the cat in the film will be named Goose. Now, while that may be the case and it may not mean much, why would Disney, which owns both Marvel and Lucasfilm, I did not know that, need to take out the element of the character? It's not like it's going to sue itself. Maybe the studio is afraid that mixing universe references will be crossing the streams and possibly create a Ghostbusters scenario. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that video though. This has been your boy Chase Reed. I hope you guys like this video. Subscribe for more content if you like it. If you have any requests, let me know in the comment section below. That bell notification so then you guys know whenever I drop a video. And hit that like button for more content. One love.